Hey, Jim.
All right, we are joined on the podium by Wichita State head coach Paul Mills, Corey Washington, and Bijan Corts. Coach, why don't we just start with an opening comment, and we'll open it up for questions.
Yeah, I mean, we had a lot of respect for South Florida and just who they were and their ability, and obviously having an all-conference player in Jamil Reynolds, just knew the problems that presented. And, you know, even though that we got up 16, you know, early there in the second half, I mean, UTSA was up 20 on these guys with 9 minutes to go, and then South Florida came back and won. And there were a number of games they had like that. I know they were down to Rice by 13, came back and won. And so we had zero reservations about our lead being able to be withheld. And it's a situation where winning's hard, especially this time of year, and just proud of our guys and how they handled everything. And obviously, Bijan played really well, and you know, told him yesterday just about his ability to take care of the ball. So to get through this with 0 turnovers is a tribute to him. And then, you know, Corey can shoot it better than what he's shown on the year. He did today, but he's actually better than this from the free throw line. So we're looking forward to cleaning that up tomorrow.
Thank you, Coach. Do we have anyone in here that has a question? Please raise your hand. We'll get a microphone to you, and please give us your name and affiliation.
Hello, Owen Prothro with the Sunflower. Coach, you mentioned how USF's a good team at coming back in the second half. What did you like about the team's composure today?
Yeah, you know, I mean, that's what you have to have. You have to be able to have poise down the stretch. You got to be able to convert free throws. So, you know, you have a situation where it's a one-possession game and they foul Bijan on a one-and-one opportunity, and he goes up there and he knocks down both. Like, that's what's required at this time of year. You're just going to see players elevate their ability to show up and handle difficult situations. And we've kind of done that all year, just been able to handle difficult situations. But I'm proud that we were able to do it in the middle of a game.
Front row here on the left.
Yeah, Taylor Eldridge with Wichita Eagle. Coach, can you just talk about the happy medium or that needle that Bijan has to thread of being aggressive, because he's, you know, loves to create for others, but when he's aggressive, how much does that change the offense, and just how well did he kind of thread that needle today?
Yeah, I mean, the best Bijan is the aggressive Bijan. And, you know, we've kind of encouraged him to stay aggressive. And I thought a play that was kind of indicative of him kind of flipping a switch was the three-point opportunity. You know, they cut to lead within 4, and then he goes and makes a three-point play off a pick and roll going right with he and Quincy. But again, he's got great vision. A lot of people have vision, just very few people can actually deliver a basketball. He has the ability to deliver a basketball, but you have to think score. If people know you're trying to defer, then people can play for that. And the other thing about Bijan today that didn't happen at South Florida when we played is he would get bumped off of his line and kind of fumble the ball. And that didn't happen today. He handled it with some level of physicality. But again, he's a good player, but the best Bijan is an aggressive Bijan, and he was today.
Do you have a follow-up?
Sure. Can we talk to the players too?
Sure.
Okay. Yeah, Corey, like you said, you know, you're a better three-point shooter than what it's shown. How good did today feel, you know, to see that many fall, especially the first half?
For me, it was just the mental part was just trusting my work, and the guys was trusting me and making a shot, so I just put it up with confidence.
Do you do anything, like when the shots aren't falling, do you do anything to try to get out of that? You put in extra shots, or you just kind of trust the process, what you've been doing all year?
You definitely have to work harder if shots are not falling. I mean, Coach says this all the time. I mean, it's just the work that you put in. That's what you're going to get. And Bijan today was finding me and trusting me, so I have to be confident in the shot.
Anything else?
Is that, yeah.
Sure.
Coach, just is it kind of you know, funny how much better the offense looks when threes are going in? Just how nice of a lift was that today?
I mean, you have to shoot it. I mean, you can't sit there and allow a team just to disrespect you like that and that level of dare shot. So you can't overthink it either. I mean, there were numerous times you're just yelling I was yelling at those guys to shoot the ball. And they need to know when to shoot it. It needs to come after we've had an interior opportunity. It just doesn't need to be come down and shoot it unless you're on a heat check like Corey was. And so those situations are fine. But we do have to think changing hands, changing sides, and being able to get a paint touch. And if you get those shots, you have to shoot it specifically because we're a good offensive rebounding team. I know we didn't show it today. We usually out-rebound teams. So, to tie it at 43-43 and give up 14-0 boards is not characteristic of what we normally do. But you have to shoot the basketball if you're going to be a basketball player. Otherwise, go find something else to do.
Anybody else internally here with a question? Right here on the right.
Bijan, coming off that tough loss last Sunday against Tulsa, what was the team's energy like coming into today?
We know it's elimination basketball, so just staying together, knowing that through practices this week and knowing that it's going to be a lot of ups and downs, we stayed together throughout this game. So that's what we were just focused on, making sure we just did all we can to win.
And then Quincy made a couple of big blocks on one possession in that first half. How did that kind of add fuel to the defense?
That just kind of helps with our momentum for sure. Just getting those blocks out and then getting players like Corey to run out on transition with us and being able to hit them kind of worked out a lot.
And then one more question for you, Coach. Corey, it looked like he kind of tweaked his hamstring there in the first half. What did you like from his efforts throughout the game?
Yeah, Corey can run for days. Honest to goodness, if we were to tip off here in 2 hours, Corey Washington will be ready. Now, it depends on the opponent about how ready he'll be. But Corey Washington is easily our best player in regards to stamina, and Corey can run through days. He's a tough kid. He can fight through things. So I just ask him if he's all right, and I trust whatever answer he gives me. But of all the guys on the team with stamina, he's the least I'm worried about.
Anybody? Okay, front row on the left here again.
Yeah, Coach, he mentioned Q, just like how much more active he was. Was it just night and day compared to Tulsa?
Well, how many games has Quincy Ballard gone without a block shot? You go look at the stat sheet via Tulsa, and he shows up with 0. So 5 today. You could hear Quincy AC yelling at him, "That's you, Q." And I thought his presence was bigger, and what I mean by that is there were a lot of situations when you go back and look at the Tulsa film, his hands are down below his waist. I thought his hands were at least horizontal today. If you can get them closer to your shoulder and be a bigger presence, that's important. But I thought he did a great job on Jamil Reynolds. If you remember at our place, Jamil had a career high. And so to be able to hold that guy to 2 for 7, and there were a number of one-on-one opportunities, that's a tribute. So I thought his physicality was great, and at the same time he was able not only to block shots but alter them.
Another one?
And just finally on Bijan, just that aggressiveness, does that kind of remind you of, I'm sure you've watched tape of him in high school, back in the Kingfisher days. Was that kind of reminiscent of him, just that offensive aggressiveness?
You know what? When I was at Oral Roberts, I went to Kingfisher High School, and I went there to watch Matthew Stone, but Bijan didn't even give me the time of day. It's just like, who are you and why are you here? And so I said, if I ever get the chance to get him back, whether he's on the opponent, I'm going to find a way to shut him down. But it's a privilege to coaching. And, Bijan's always been aggressive, but he has a team mentality. He wants to get other involved. And, the thing we've talked about him is you're doing what's best for the team when you think shot. And because his reads are really good, he can recognize if somebody's coming over and trying to block it because he can find somebody else. But I watch him, Bijan, at Kingfisher, and just the quality of player he is. But, again, we have to stay as much force as we can play at the rim. That's what we need to do.
Chuck, anyone on Zoom?
Do we have any questions for those on Zoom? We can start with Leo Haggerty, please.
Coach, how long are you going to allow yourself to celebrate this win with Memphis on the horizon?
Yeah, there's no celebration. I mean, you do your job, you move on to the next thing. I mean, I don't drink alcohol. I don't do anything in particular. I may have a cup of iced tea, but I tell you, like this is not work for me. Like this is fun for me. So to stay up for the next few hours and think through and get with your staff and get with your guys on what's the best way in order to find an opportunity in order to be competitive tomorrow. I mean, that's what we're going to do. But I mean, if you're sitting around celebrating this time of year, you're in trouble anyway.
Thank you, Coach. Good luck tomorrow.
Thanks.
We've got a question in the back.
Bijan Novosako, Cake News. How confident do you feel with your game right now? Because I mean, the points have come at such a high rate. The turnovers next to none. I mean, we're seeing it at all phases from you right now. How confident are you in your game?
I'm very confident, especially with the people that I'm around. They tell me every game when I go out there, just be you, look to score, be aggressive, and that just comes with all my teammates as well. So I'm really confident about these next couple games.
And Coach, back to the Memphis question. Obviously, you guys have the Tigers up next. Some good history, lately. The last time the Shockers and Tigers met in the tournament. Do you hold any weight to that? I mean, what's kind of the approach? You just mentioned it on the Zoom, but kind of the mindset coming into this one, knowing that they're coming into this one with a chip on their shoulder into tomorrow.
Yeah, I think one, everybody has a chip on their shoulder, and two, I mean, they're a good team. And so that's what you're going to do this time of year. You're going to play good teams. So, I mean, I put zero weight on the fact that we were able to win at home. It's kind of what you hope to do, is be able to win at home, especially in conference. And, you get to play a really good basketball team. But that's what you do this time of year. You play good basketball teams.
Chuck, go back to Zoom. Oh, that's it? Anybody else in here? I don't want to. Okay, Coach.
Jim,
Thanks
thank you.
very much. I'm going to go out this way.